Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Arundathi Ramanan, and with me as always, Shruti Mishra. These are the top headlines from the startup world. Frontline workforce management platform BetterPlace acquires Malaysian talent solutions company Troopers for an undisclosed amount, marks the startup's second acquisition in the Southeast Asian region after MyRobin's buyout in February.
Coca-Cola to acquire a minority stake in online food ordering platform Thrive, which has partnerships with over 5,500 restaurants. Thrive directly competes with Swiggy and Zomato. This will be Coca-Cola's first investment in a startup in India.
Tech giant Google withdraws its Supreme Court appeal against the NCLAT order, refusing to stay on CCI's 936 crore rupee penalty for its alleged abuse of dominant position with regard to its Play Store policies. Google has done so as it is pursuing its appeal against CCI's order in NCLAT.
Digital loan management platform CredGenix has become operationally profitable in the fourth year of business and expects to grow to 240 crore rupees in this fiscal. Company tells CNBC-TV18 the Westbridge Capital-backed CredGenix co-founder Anand Agarwal said that the company raised around 202 crore rupees till 2021 and it has about two-thirds of the funds still in the account.
Godrej Capital, the financial services arm of the Godrej Group, launches its new digital platform, Nirman, to provide MSME owners an all-inclusive opportunity to grow their businesses. The company has initially partnered with Amazon Global Selling, OnSurety, Zolvit and MSME X to help increase the potential market reach.
Elon Musk's SpaceX has made final preparations to launch its new Starship rocket system to space for the first time on a brief but highly anticipated uncrewed test flight from the Gulf Coast of Texas. If all goes as planned, all 33 Raptor engines will ignite simultaneously to loft the Starship today.
Workforce management company BetterPlace has made its sixth acquisition to date and its second one in the Southeast Asia region. It has now entered Malaysia with the acquisition of Troopers, which is a flexible technology-based talent solution platform. The idea is that the Southeast Asia market is expected to see a 4 times increase in the demand for gig workers over the next 5 years, and that is the opportunity that BetterPlace wants to capture with this acquisition. So to talk to me about that and the company's plans going forward, joining me now is Praveen Agarwala, who's the CEO and founder of BetterPlace. Praveen, thank you very much for speaking to us again. Always a pleasure. If you could start by telling us the synergies you saw, which made you, go ahead with this acquisition of Troopers, and the size of the deal, whatever you could tell us, if not the numbers.
Sure. Thanks so much, Ritu. If you look at from the synergy point of view, first of all, the overall market of the gig economy in the entire region of Southeast Asia and India, including GCC, is expanding rapidly, right? Today, we have roughly 15 million people in this space across this region, and we believe this could go 10x over the next 7 years to 150 million people. And this entire scale will be possible in terms of delivery and managing the processes would be through a technology which is run on artificial intelligence, right? Troopers has proven this over years now in Malaysia, right? They are managing roughly 20,000 people on a daily basis, growing exponentially. And we believe with BetterPlace and Troopers coming together, we can take it to the entire geographies of the Southeast Asia, India and GCC, and be the leader in this space over the next 7 years.
So tell us a bit more about Troopers. You said they're managing about 20,000 gig workers at the moment, but what is the scale of their operations? Are they only concentrated in Malaysia or some of the neighboring regions as well?
Right now, they focus only in Malaysia. They were founded in Kuala Lumpur and they focus only on Malaysia. They have been running it in a very frugal way over last years. And this is where we want to come together. Now they have the gig technology. We bring the entire platform behind it, the software layer. And together we become the most powerful solution in the entire region, right? So now we will take this to Singapore, we'll take it to Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, and other parts of the region as well.
So you made an acquisition in Indonesia with MyRobin. Now this is your next second Southeast Asia destination. Will there be more as you look to expand in the region?
Like I mentioned last time as well, Ritu, we look at investing around $50 million over the next 3 years in Southeast Asia region. Right now we have done 2 acquisitions. We'll be looking at growing those businesses in those countries, Indonesia and Malaysia, of course, and bring our integration together. But at the same time, we'll start expanding in Thailand and Vietnam and Philippines. Right now, we are focusing more on the organic growth. But if there is an opportunity, we have our own roadmap over technology and other things. if there is an opportunity, we are always open to a good opportunity to partner with.
I know you gave me some numbers that, the demand is 15 million workers across India and, the Southeast Asia region. But given that you're expecting this 4x increase in the demand for gig workers there, specifically in the Southeast Asia region, could you tell us about the size of the opportunity for the company, for BetterPlace alone by itself? I mean, how much of the market do you hope to capture? And you're also making a significant investment of $50 million.
Absolutely. So if you look at from a people number point of view, we believe this number could be around, out of 150 million, the total size, this could be around 50 million in the entire Southeast Asia region, including GCC, of course. And we are looking at least 5% of that opportunity that we capture over the next 3.5, 4 years.
Okay, so 5% of the market would be a significant size.
That's what we are aspiring to be.
Well, what about your aspirations back home in India? Tell us how the growth here has been in the years post-pandemic. Of course, we saw an increase in the demand for gig workers. If that has sustained, what kind of trends have you been seeing here?
We have grown significantly over last 3 years, roughly, post-pandemic. Almost 25x we have grown over last 3.5 years, roughly. And we see the growth happening even faster now. Everyone is talking about headwinds, right, with all the challenges the companies are facing. Fortunately for us, all of that works as a tailwind. So we are actually taking everything as an opportunity because every company looks at some kind of efficiency, things being done in a faster, better way at a lower cost, right? And technology is the only way that can help take that journey, right?
But is the demand for gig workers increasing as the uncertainty in the environment is rising?
Overall, it is increasing. Certain pockets might be it is stagnant or not growing at the same speed at which it was growing. But overall, if you look at the blue collar or the frontline workforce, it is still growing at 7 to 10%. Certain sectors are growing even faster, like retail, if you see, is growing much faster post-pandemic now. Facility and security is back. Manufacturing with China Plus One happening, and India is taking advantage of that. You see tremendous growth. If you look at mobile phone, we are one of the largest manufacturers now. So we see huge growth happening. Certain pockets, there is a drop or there's a kind of stagnant.
Okay.
But that is, we believe, is only a short time, might be
a blip.
During the festival times, like it's coming in a couple of months from now, things will become better again.
On that note, Praveen, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and for telling us about this acquisition, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Ritu. Lovely talking to you.
After spending years in obscurity, the Indian drone industry is starting to take off. While the sector is still in its infancy, it is expected to be worth more than $4 billion in a couple of years. Several startups have entered the ring, but very few have managed to bag contracts with the Indian Army. IdeaForge is a Mumbai-based drone developer backed by marquee investors like Qualcomm, Infosys, Florentry, Exim Bank and others. Ashutosh Patki reports on the story behind IdeaForge, how it managed to capture 50% market share and its plans to fly into Dalal Street. Take a look.
The movie Three Idiots was the first time many Indian households got acquainted with the concept of drones. And prototype of the drone used in the movie was developed by a homegrown startup called IdeaForge. IdeaForge is now a pioneer in the Indian unmanned aircraft systems with a market share of nearly 50% in 2022. The company has nearly 20 patents registered. It has deals with Indian Armed Forces, state police forces, and organizations like DRDO. In April 2022, it backed $20 million in its Series B funding round from several investors, including Florentry, Infosys, and Exim Bank of India, among others.
India is getting excited about the flourishing drone industry as it aims to be the global drone hub by the end of the decade. These steps like liberalization of the drone rules, rationalization of the norms of the drone pilots, and establishment of the drone schools have given new direction to the industry. The recent allocation of rupees 120 crore under the PLI scheme in the recent union budget acted as a booster dose for the Indian manufacturers.
Even just a few years ago, drones were considered a niche industry, but now investments are starting to pour in. Ankit Mehta, the CEO of IdeaForge, which was formed in 2007, has witnessed a complete transformation in government policies and investments throughout the years.
I've in a way seen the drone regulations go from ignore to deny to accept to support. That whole cycle we have seen, right, from the very beginning. And absolutely, we are delighted to know that now it is a regime that is enabling. It is a regime that wants to deploy these systems in an environment where we will now be able to take these systems and utilize their benefit without undue bottlenecks around the space we are operating in and the environment we are doing it. As long as we are in those green zones up to that altitude, we are free to operate it for whatever purpose is possible. Of course, we have to take the right set of drones to do those operations.
Apart from the production-linked incentive schemes for the sector, government is using drones effectively in schemes like Swamitwa. It is an ambitious program to survey and map about 6.6 lakh villages before 2025 to provide accurate land records and reduce property disputes.
Swamitwa scheme is actually, in our opinion, one of the largest mapping programs in the world, where the government is looking to map all the 660,000 villages of our country and create property cards of all the Abadi areas, the areas where the villagers live, so that they can have, for the first time, ownership of their own house. And once you bring people into the economic mainstream, you can unlock their ability to create the necessary resources for their well-being and their upliftment and their business, right? So that is the major impact of the Swamitwa scheme. That's the vision with which the scheme was launched.
In 2021, IdeaForge was awarded a contract worth $20 million by the Indian Army for Switch UAV. As a part of its contract with the Indian Army, the drone company shall deliver 200 systems, soon to augment Army's surveillance capabilities. In a bid to boost domestic manufacturing, the government banned import of drones in 2022 while exempting imports for R&D, defense and security purposes. However, there are no restrictions on imports of drone components. India accounted for 22% of global drone imports as of January 2022. IdeaForge is also gearing up to fly into the Lal Street. It has filed its draft red herring prospectus with SEBI for an IPO. The global drone market is poised to become a $54 billion market by 2025. Due to the initiatives like Atmanirbhar Bharat, the Indian drone manufacturing potential will be worth $4.2 billion. Considering all the efforts that are being put in, it won't be wrong to say the sky will be just the beginning for the Indian drone sector. With cameraman Bharat Kori, this is Ashutosh Patki for CNBC-TV18.
With that, it's time for us to head into a short break. But coming up, Indore-based chai and beverage serving company Chai Sutta Bar, founded in 2016, serves 4.5 lakh Kulhad tea every day. We speak to the co-founder on the other side. Stay tuned for that. To start up straight, on the hot seat today, we put the spotlight on Chai Sutta Bar, an Indore-based chai and beverage serving company founded in 2016. Chai Sutta Bar serves different types of chai, approximately 4.5 lakh Kulhad teas every day. With over 450 outlets, the venture has already sold over 4 crore cups of Kulhad tea in the first 3 months of 2023. To talk to us about the road ahead, joining me now is its co-founder and CEO, Anubhav Dubey, also known as the Kulhad Man of India. Also joining us is my colleague Arundhati. Anubhav, welcome to Startup Street. You claim to be bringing back the glory of the traditionally Kulhad chai. In fact, CSB has been on a rapid expansion spree with over a dozen new locations in the last 3 months. What's the big play here, Anubhav? Also, are these outlets franchisee or company owned? And what is the way forward? Which model are you betting big on?
Thank you so much for having me here, first of all. Talking about Kulhad, so Kulhad was always there in the market, but it was not that, into the process where normal street cafe used to use it, especially when we talk of the central India, the upper north. It was there in the some villages in the UP and Bihar. So, yes, we started in 2016 with one outlet, so it went well. People started adopting it, people started liking it, and when other companies and other stakeholders in the market saw it, and they thought, why not to use it again? So they started using it, and now it is, You can see it as the replacement of the disposable cups and the paper cups in the streets of India. Well, yes, and for coming to your second question, that is, our model is FOFO model, which is franchise-owned, franchise-operated model, where we self-franchisee and our franchise sell chai to the end users. And we are working on it and making it better.
Anubhav, you've got aggressive global expansion plans as well. CSB has already made its presence in the UK. I believe you're also planning to expand to the US and the Canada in the coming markets, in the coming months. What potential do you see, and what is the kind of impact you hope to create in these markets?
So, to correct you, we have a presence in the UAE, that is Dubai. We have opened 2 outlets. First outlet we opened in 2020, 14 January. Huge potential. Talking about the potential, huge potential in these markets, because when it comes to the consumption of tea, we comes to 28th rank, and production-wise, we come to the 2nd rank. So obviously, we can get the product at a very cheaper rate, and we can sell it to the audiences outside the end cross borders. So huge potential, though it is very stringent, and the market is quite different and difficult. But talking about the Indian and Desi diaspora is very densely populated in some pockets of these countries. So we are targeting those pockets first, and gradually and eventually we are targeting the Goras and the other crowd as well. See, people are aware about the chai, tea, but to educate them about the Desi chai, that is milk-based tea, is a task, though people are very much adapted, because most of the people are lactose intolerant, so most of the people do not try water-based tea. So we have to educate them, and eventually we really think that people will adapt, because that's what's happening. That's what we saw here in Dubai.
Right. Hi, Anubhav. Arundathi here. Now, these are your global expansion plans. While you're big in North India, I believe South India is next. So give us some insights about how you plan to woo consumers in these 2 diverse markets. What's it going to be like entering South India?
So there's nothing very much diverse. I agree that the culture and the taste is different. So we speak here in Hindi that pag pag mein bhasha aur swad dono badal jate hain. So I know that there's a difference, but if a sugar drink, that is cold drink, is same and can be adopted throughout from the top to bottom in the country, so why not tea, which is already there in the market and have much more adaptability compared to these drinks? So I think, and we have already penetrated from Chennai, which is doing really, really well from last 2 years, and we are hoping for the best in the other parts of the South India as well.
All right, so your Chennai market is already doing very well over the last 2 years. What are the key factors driving the category itself? Any interesting observations on customer behavior trends that you can share with us?
Well, there's one personal observation which I saw, because when we started in 2016, we started selling tea for 7 rupees. Now we are selling it for rupees 12, 15. So the purchasing power has increased, especially RTGs, students, and corporate individuals. So they started spending more. They come to the counter and ask, why not do you introduce this premium tea? We are ready to pay for this. So I think people are ready to pay more. That's what I have seen in the last 5 years.
All right, Anubhav, Chai Sutta Bar is a bootstrapped company. Will you be looking to raise funds now, considering your aggressive growth plans? And if you could also talk to us about your current business and revenue growth numbers.
So, we are a bootstrap company making profits. And so, yes, in the coming years, we are looking to raise funds. Because we are very asset-light model, we do not have to put much more money in opening an outlet, whereas we give franchising and take the franchise fees in return. So we are getting money rather than putting money in the market. So, but keeping the market and the expansion in the mind, the way we are expanding, we really think that we need a good backend support, good team. So yes, in the coming future, we will be raising funds.
All right. And so you're going to raise funds in the coming future, but can you tell us a little bit about the revenue numbers at this point and what you hope to be at the end of this year?
So by the end of this year, we will be closing by 15 CR revenue.
All
that
right.
is roughly about 1.5 CR profit.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about the social impact of the venture then. What is the kind of impact CSB has had on Kulhad makers? Talk to us about the employment opportunities you've provided.
Oh my God, this is my favorite topic. Thanks for asking me because, in the corporate culture, not all the people talk about it. So we are sort of social entrepreneurship where we make sure that what we are earning, we definitely return something to the society. So most of the people, those who are working in Chai Sutta Bar, I'm talking about the ground forces, are mostly orphans, disabled, and very economically poor, around 1,600 people. So amazing stories. Just Google it or YouTube will get to know. And apart from these, let me talk about the potters community. So when we started, we went to one potter's house and we asked to manufacture the cooler. So he said most of the people used to come and just commit that we are going to buy, but nobody does it. Every startup and every idea of using cooler is failed. So we said, no, give it to us, we'll try. And fortunately, I'm really glad to say that there are more than 1,500 potters family, those who are connected directly with us and making cooler, and we are making the revolution. We are not just using it, we are exporting it to the outside India. So we have made a month's logo कि जो भी चाय पिएगा हमारे देश की मिट्टी को चूमेगा. So,
Okay.
there's a huge impact.
Absolutely. And Anubhav, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but we wish you the very best with all your growth plans. And we wish you the best for your endeavor to make Chai Sutta Bar the go-to brand for all chai lovers. Many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today.
Thank you so much.
Moving on, for the better part of last week, Blinkit's delivery partners have been protesting a new pay structure, which they say would halve their monthly income. The standoff has entered its second week, affecting Blinkit's operations at the Delhi NCR region, where at least 100 dark stores of the Zomato-owned company have been temporarily shut down. Akhil Vishwanath reports. Take a look.
Sweltering heat, burning effigies, cries of protest. The strike by Zomato-owned grocery platform Blinkit's delivery partners over new pay structure has entered its fifth day in the Delhi NCR region. CNBC-TV18 learns that the protests have led to the temporary halting of operations at about half of the 200 dark stores Blinkit operates in the Delhi NCR region. The bone of contention is a new rate card that fixes the minimum fee for partners at 15 rupees per delivery. Delivery partners are up in arms against what they call a steep reduction after payouts were cut in half from 50 rupees per order to 25 rupees per order last year. The company, however, has kept incentives in place.
स्टार्टिंग में जब ब्लिंकिट कंपनी आई थी, जब उन लोग 30-35 हजार का वादा करे थे, बस उतना तो नहीं कमाया. 20-25 हजार रुपए स्टार्टिंग में कमाने की पूरी कोशिश की हमारे वर्कर्स ने. उसके बाद लगातार जैसा उन लोग ने फेयर में, इंसेंटिव में, रेफरल बोनस में कटौती करते गए, वो जाके 25 रुपए तक जब आ गया, जब तो पूरा डिलीवरी बॉय का जो खर्चा सब जाते बाकी जो उसको 10,000 से 15,000 बच रहा था. आज के तारीख में जो उन लोग 15 से 20 रुपए के बीच में देने जा रहे हैं, उसके अंदर तो डिलीवरी बॉय को कुछ नहीं बचेगा. उसके अंदर ना गाड़ी का मेंटेनेंस भी निकल सकेगा, ना खुद की जिंदगी चल पाएंगी. तो अभी जो है 15 रुपए के हिसाब से मैं समझता हूँ अप्रोक्सीमेटली 8 से 10,000, 8,000 रुपए से 10,000 रुपए के बीच के ही उसकी आमदनी होती, मगर यहाँ पे उससे बढ़ के नहीं होती.
The Indian Federation for App-Based Transport Workers that represents these gig partners claims that the reduction in payout to delivery partners was done without any prior notice or consultation. Last week, around 600 delivery partners had met Blinkit's management, challenging what the union calls a unilateral decision. The company was adamant to carry on with the pay cut, the union said. Even as the talks failed, a Blinkit spokesperson told CNBC-TV18 that the new payout structure is fair and that it compensates the delivery partners fairly for their efforts to deliver an order. The workers' union is also grieved with the company's use of third-party delivery services, not only previously, but also during the ongoing protest.
आप देख रहे होंगे बीते हुए 4-5 दिन से हम लोग लगातार स्ट्राइक में हैं, फिर भी जो है आप जितने भी डिलीवरीज कर रहे हो वो सारे डिलीवरीज देखो, आप कभी डिलीवरी बॉय को बुला के पूछो, वो ब्लिंकिट का बंदा नहीं है, वो थर्ड पार्टी का बंदा है. हम लगातार बार बोल चुके हैं ब्लिंकिट मैनेजमेंट्स को भी कि आप थर्ड पार्टी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रोक कीजिए, आप जो है इसके अंदर हमारे कोई बिजनेस देने का काम करिए, मगर वो लगातार जो है वही काम कर रहे थर्ड पार्टी शैडो पार्क जैसे, रैपिडो जैसे और दूसरे जने छोटे लोकल ऐप्स को लेके वो काम करके जो है हमारे पेट पे मार रहे हैं।
On the disruptions caused by the protest, which has put half of Blinkit's 400 stores in India or its entire Delhi NCR operations at risk, the company claims that most of its stores are now up and running. CNBC-TV18 has also learned that Blinkit has no plans to roll back the new pay structure, even if it comes at the cost of shuttering some of its dark stores. For Blinkit, the protests have come at a time when it was planning to expand its pan-India network from 400 to about 550 to 600 dark stores, after seeing improvement in total orders, average monthly transacting customers, and average gross order value per day per dark store in the December quarter. In New Delhi, Akhil Vishwanath for CNBC TV18.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates continue on CNBC TV 18.